You're with CapeTalk.
This is Pippa Hudson on lunch.
Trevor writing in on the WhatsApp line to say he is still in contact with students he met on exchange more than 25 years ago. Particularly close with the Thai students. Teresa from Germany returned many times, and likewise we went to visit her in Stuttgart. She wished me happy birthday from Peru just last week, he tells us. Trevor emphasizing the friendship aspect of a cultural exchange program. And in Wonder the World today, we are chatting to two South African youngsters who are busy taking part in an international cultural exchange with AFS Interculture. If you missed our earlier conversation with them at the start of the show, the main thing to know is that this is an international NGO that has a big presence in South Africa and offers local scholars and students the chance to go and study or volunteer overseas and to immerse themselves in another culture. Now, joining us via Zoom are two of their current cohort. Kiara Mahoney is currently on exchange in Central America, in beautiful Panama, while Ntando Seremane is exploring life in South Korea. It's wonderful to have both of you with us, spanning the time zones we are this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to CapeTalk.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
It's a great pleasure. I'm going to start by asking each of you just to briefly introduce yourselves. Tell us how old you are and how you came to be involved in the AFS program in the first place. Kiara, can we start with you?
Well, my name's Kiara. I'm 19 years old. My father actually did the AFS program when he finished with high school.
Yeah.
And just based on what he told me about his experience, it sounded like something I was really interested in doing. I really love traveling and having the opportunity to meet new people. So the whole idea of AFS really gave me this opportunity. So after finishing high school, it was something that I looked into, and it just seemed like an amazing opportunity that I really could not miss out on. And obviously right now I have no regrets. It was completely worth it.
Fantastic to hear that. Kiara, what made you choose Panama in particular?
I have always thought that South America in general is absolutely beautiful. And of course, while Panama is in North America, it's always been such an interesting country to me. I've always wanted to learn Spanish. The nature is beautiful and the people always seem so friendly. So I definitely think it was the right choice for me, just being in this environment in general.
I don't know if our listeners can hear what I'm hearing, which is the sound of birds chirping in the background, really emphasizing the wonderful natural environment you're in. Kiara, thanks for that introduction. And Ntando, what about you? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Ntando. I'm 20 years old, and I actually heard of AFS from the internet, actually.
Yeah.
I saw how wonderful the experience might be to experience different cultures, different foods, and just to explore the world further, because the world is quite a bit bigger than South Africa.
And the choice of South Korea, what was it a place you'd always wanted to go, or was it the place you chose because it seemed the furthest away and most different from your own culture?
Well, I chose Asia in particular because just how different it is from, let's say, as South Africa, and just to experience really as being really the only one of the few people that are just, I guess, non-Asian, I guess. And just to experience the different culture and really to learn the language, that the unique language where you cannot get anywhere else in the world. Really, that's really why I chose.
Okay. Now, I wanted to ask both of you about how you tackle the language barrier. Ntando, so you very deliberately went there keen to learn a completely different and new language. Did you do any sort of study before you got to Korea to try and prepare yourself, or did you literally dive into the deep end, arriving there not speaking any of the language at all?
I actually came in here without knowing anything. To be honest,
okay.
At first, it was a bit confusing, as obvious as that may sound, but honestly, people here are very friendly and pretty understanding. So they'll be patient with you as you try to navigate your way in trying to communicate with them. And more than anything, I feel as if it's a new challenge. You know, I don't really see it as some sort of barrier, so to speak. I more see it as a bridge that I just have to build on my own to further educate myself with cultures and being able to speak to new and different people to get the experiences
Okay. Do you want to say something for us in Korean? Perhaps good morning and how are you or something like that?
안녕하세요. I think that's
Okay.
yeah. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Yeah, that's that's about it for now.
감사합니다. Okay, you've done better than I could, so well done. Thank you for that explanation.
Thank you.
Kiara, what about you? You said that learning Spanish was one of the real motivators for you to go to Central America. How are you getting on in that goal?
I mean, learning the language has definitely been one of the biggest challenges, I would say, just because being thrown into an environment where you don't really know any of the language and you're surrounded by people that don't necessarily speak English either, it can be a bit of a challenge. And the language barrier, of course, can be a problem. However, it has also been extremely useful in being able to pick up the language quicker by being forced to speak in it and being forced to be in that environment. And for me, I've actually really enjoyed having the struggle of maybe ordering at a restaurant or saying something incorrectly. I've really enjoyed being able to learn through that and being able to be corrected by friends and family members, and just really being able to put yourself out there in speaking a language that normally you wouldn't even attempt to speak.
Well, I can't do it to Ntando and not do it to you. Kiara, do you want to give us a sample of your Spanish and how it's got on so far?
I'll just say hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? Okay, well done. So you're getting there. And have you, like Ntando, found that people are very friendly and willing to help? You've shown the interest of going to their country with an approach of wanting to learn. Are you finding that they're receiving you with much the same sort of sense of welcome?
Yes, absolutely. The people here are very welcoming, very friendly. Specifically, if I approach someone and initially they think that I'm maybe Panamanian and they hear my Spanish and they know I'm definitely foreign, they are so willing to help. They're so willing to even try and speak English. They're willing to help me with my Spanish. It has really been an overall great experience with that.
I'm so glad to hear it. Kiara, tell us a little bit more about what you've seen of Panama so far and some of the highlights of what you've experienced there.
Well, for me, I'm staying in Panama City, which is the area with a lot of people, a lot of activities, that kind of thing. And I've really been able to experience meeting new people and just seeing how people live on a day-to-day and experiencing not being a tourist, but actually being a local in Panama. But I've also had the privilege of going to other provinces and other areas to see Panama's beautiful nature, the beautiful beaches, and really being able to immerse in the country and everything that it has to offer.
Okay. And Ntando, what about you? Have you had the chance to explore much of South Korea? Tell us a little bit more about where you are and what you've seen so far.
Well, I'm currently in a province, I guess, called Daejeon, which I think is very nature-driven. I really liked how a lot of the things are, it's really peaceful here. But I've had the chance to actually go to Seoul, the capital of South Korea, and I've been to Lotte World, which is a lot of people's dreams, to be honest. And there was an amusement park, but a really, really big and really amazing amusement park. I had the chance to go on a lot of rides and really just experience how amazing, really, and like how large scale it is compared to like a lot of South Africa's, for example, like the Goldish City.
Yes.
In South Africa, it's quite minuscule compared to Lotte, to be honest. So it was a great experience. Yeah, that's how I've been so far.
Okay. Besides the scale of things being so much bigger, has anything shocked or surprised you? Have you found yourself sort of suffering from culture shock in any way, whether it was adapting to new food or that they do something very differently in South Korea from the way you're used to doing it in South Africa?
Well, the culture shock for me maybe has been, well, to start off with, the obvious one would be being able to use chopsticks. I'm really just used to eating with a fork and knife, but now like my hands are not quite used to the chopsticks, and also mainly also like the terrain really of South Korea there's a lot of hills really here, so it's quite challenging on the feet, I guess, to be able to like walk around. You have to walk around everywhere, and whilst there's hills. But other than that, really not much. As I said before, it's quite people are quite accepting and are quite also willing to teach you
Yeah.
some of their cultural norms. Like for example, not to yell in like a bus or a train. It is quite important to be mindful of your surroundings in terms of not yelling in a train, always giving the elders or like the pregnant woman a rite of passage always.
Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, yeah, it's been quite fantastic here.
Okay. Kiara, have you had any moments of real culture shock or things that have completely surprised you about your experience in Panama so far?
Well, I mean, honestly, from my experience, I feel like Panama definitely has a couple of similarities with South Africa,
Yeah.
just in regards to some of the way things work and the friendliness of the people. I feel like that's very South African. But one thing I will say, I am vegetarian, so it has been a bit of a struggle with finding vegetarian meals to eat.
Okay.
But like I said, people are so open and willing to help. My family has been lovely and obviously prepares me really amazing Panamanian vegetarian meals. And yeah, overall, I've just been able to, of course, figure my way around that. And while, of course, Panama has a very different culture than South Africa, it's all been just such a great experience. I've been able to be immersed in this culture. And while there have been differences, I wouldn't say that I've had any negative experiences or felt any sadness or unhappiness in the change of culture. I've really enjoyed every moment.
Okay. Just for anybody who's joining us midway for this interview, our guests are two South African young adults who are both currently taking part in AFS cultural exchange programs. Kiara Mahoney is 19 years old, currently based in Panama, and Ntando Seremane is 20 years old and spending time in South Korea. Both of them obviously joining us via Zoom this afternoon to chat to us. And let's talk a little bit about the things you're missing from home. Kiara, you've just said you found it very welcoming and that your hosts have made you feel so at home. Is there any aspect of South African life that you felt sort of tugging at you that you are really missing?
Well, of course, I miss my friends, my family. Of course, when you're going on an exchange, you're going to miss those main things, and my pets, of course. But overall, I feel like while there are things that I miss, just the experience of new things in a different country has really made it worth it. So the second I miss something, I think of something new that I've discovered or someone new that I've met, and it really just makes me so grateful to be able to have something that I can miss and something new that I'm experiencing at the same time.
Yeah. Has it been the same for you in Ntando? I mean, of course, you must be missing loved ones back at home, but is there anything else that you really have, you can't wait to get back to when your exchange is over?
Well, to be honest, the only thing I can't wait to get back to is a good old braai. Just a good old braai and some biltong.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm missing. Really, is just the way South Africans do it. Just the pop, the braai, a good time. That's the main thing that I'm missing from home. But otherwise, I mean, obviously, I can just always call my family.
Yeah.
Technology is pretty advanced these days. But other than that, yeah, it's just a braai and some good pub. That's it.
Well, the good news is those will definitely still be waiting for you when you get home at the end of this. Done on a more serious note, what do you feel like you've learnt about yourself in the process of going on exchange?
Well, to be honest, I felt more open to expressing myself. I mean, obviously, as a Black person in Asia, it's a bit obvious there will in Korea they'll be a bit more curious, and because my skin color is a bit different from them. But I've learned rather than to shy away from it, I'd rather learn to be more expressive about it. More like dye my hair now, get more I've gotten a lot more piercings, to be honest, since I got here as well. Yeah, I think that it also taught me to just have more confidence in myself, rather than to be in a shell, because I ultimately I came here to learn and experience new experiences. So I've just learned to be more comfortable in my own skin as well through this program.
That's fantastic to hear. Kiara, do you feel the same way? Is there anything else you'd add to that about what you've discovered about yourself in the process of leaving South Africa?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say just overall traveling to a country where you don't know the language, you're not living as a tourist, you're living as a local, it definitely forces you to grow your confidence and self-awareness in different ways that you wouldn't normally experience in the comfort of your own country. And I really feel like just being able to be here has been such a good opportunity for growth, for meeting Panamanians and meeting locals, and as well as meeting other people on exchange, other people traveling, and being able to hear their stories and being able to understand kind of why they did this as well.
Yeah.
Like there are moments where I'm hanging out with my friends, a friend from Canada, friends from Germany, and a friend from Panama. And I'm just thinking, all of us in this one group, it's just such a different experience that you won't have unless you're going on an exchange or traveling somewhere with this kind of experience. So I would say that it's definitely taught me to be just more confident, self-aware, and open to other people.
It's been wonderful listening to both of you talk with such excitement about how much you are learning, not just about other cultures, but about yourselves as well. And I want to thank you both for making time to speak to us at what probably is not the most convenient time of day for you in your time zones. To Kiara Mahoney joining us from Panama and Ntando Seremane joining us from South Korea, thank you for your time this afternoon, and we wish you all the best and continued enjoyment of the rest of your exchange experience with AFS. Thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you so much.
And that's what it's like. If you want to explore the possibility, once again, the website to visit for more information on the AFS program is afs.org.za.